Hi folks, I'm out in my Bigfoot camper, my truck, and I've been fishing this morning. It's supposed to get up to 80 or 70 degrees today. It's February. It's supposed to be 70 degrees tomorrow, or nearly so. So I went fishing. Should be out back at home making jewelry, but it's too nice a day, so I came fishing. And it's lunchtime now, so I'm fixing my lunch. And I've got a little something here to show you. It's a cooking setup you may not have seen before. And it's not one of these pro shop things. It's pretty simple. It's a pressure cooker. It's a 1.5 liter Hawkins. They're made by the Indians. The kind in India, not American Indian. But let me show it to you. I've got it sitting on a little bottle of butane and a Coleman burner. But this thing here is just darling. For one person, you really can't beat it. And what I'm doing right now is I've got 3 raw chicken drumsticks, a little bit of pepper, some rice, some water, some salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and onion powder. I've got a little mix I carry with me everywhere. It's salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And a little bitty jar, about big around about that tall, of Brianna sauce or something like that. I don't know how you say it. It's kind of a curry. So I'm making curry chicken and rice, or something like that. These drumsticks are raw, and they will take 8 to 10 minutes to cook, and they'll just be falling off the bone, which is kind of cool. Now, it takes a while for this pressure cooker to get up to speed, but then when it does, you're good to go. I've got neighbors. I'm going to turn off for a minute. Okay, I was just gone for a couple of minutes, but my pressure cooker's starting to talk to me. Now this works different than a pressure cooker you might have had made in the United States. Those things have that's some sort of falcon. I don't know what it is. But it's way cool. I've got to look that one up. Beautiful bird. Yeah, I get sidetracked. Squirrel. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear this or not, but it's starting to hiss. Just a little bit. It hasn't been on there more than 3 or 4 minutes. And it's going to whistle. And when it whistles, that's when you start counting. And it's fixing to, I believe. But you always measure your time. Let me see, can you see that? I don't know, I'm going to put my head on it. There we go. This thing right here is weighted. When it picks itself up and goes, that's when you start counting. And it's fixing to do that. And it'll take 8 to 10 minutes from that time. Now this it smells good. I can smell that curry. I'll call it curry. It's got some technical name. And it's leaking a little around the side there. It's got a little rubber gasket, and it'll seal up. And it leaks a little around that part right there, but that'll seal up too, or seal up good enough. It's not perfect, but they've been cooking with it. There are millions of meals made with these. This is the smallest one. Most of them are bigger, and the recipes that come with these, they say the smallest one is the 2 liter. But this 1.5 liter, it works really well for one person, in my opinion. But I want you to see the whistle. And it's fixing to do it. Once it whistles, then you turn the fire down. And all you really need to do is keep it pressurized until you get to the end of your cook cycle. I don't know if you can see the steam, but it leaks a little bit. Now it's got a safety thing there. If it gets too hot, it'll burn, it'll blow that little thing out right there where that nut is. Ooh, excuse me. This little Coleman stove, they're inexpensive. There's no reason you need one of your ultralight backpacking stoves for truck camping, of course, but this thing, it just works dandy. And I like the Coleman stove, the Coleman burner. This pot is almost too big for it, and it's kind of rounded on the bottom, so it doesn't sit really well. But a flatter bottom pot works a little better. But you've got a lot of really fine temperature control on it. And that's why I've got wind's kicking up. That's why I've got this wind screen on there. I know it makes it hard to see. Any minute now, it's going to whistle. Oh, it smells so good. And I can smell that pepper cooking too. I was going to put some onions in there, but I would have had to cut one up and I just didn't feel like it. Now this is kind of a scary thing the first time it happens. Looks like I've got that camera setting crooked. I guess you won't watch it. You won't want to watch it because of that, maybe. Whatever. But Hawkins is manufactured in India, and I think it's imported by someplace in New Jersey. But you can get these on Amazon. And this one was about $35, I think. So it's not a high dollar item compared to some of the ultralight backpacking, which I'm not sure they're even ultralight, considered ultralight. But that you can get a backpacking pro shop version of this, but this works just dandy. I cook with it at home too. It's a really nice size for one person. I could probably turn up the heat and make it go faster, but it's about there. There, I turned it up just a little bit. That's what I was saying about these little Coleman stoves. They really have a... There we go. Almost. That wasn't the real thing yet. That was... I wouldn't call that the whistle. I'll hold my windscreen down and blow away. Almost. Here it goes. That's the whistle. Now we can turn the fire down. And all you need to do now is just maintain pressure. And you know you're maintaining pressure if it does that whistle thing every now and then. In fact, you don't ever have to do it again. And if you've got experience using these things, they say if you're getting good results, don't worry about the whistles. And one of the old school ways of timing this is counting whistles. And the manufacturer says, you know, that's kind of an old-fashioned way to do it. It's not as good as just time. So just time it. And So I'm going to set a timer here. Timer. I'm going to put 9 minutes on it. Start. 8 minutes is, I think, what you're supposed to do on chicken, but I've got this loaded up pretty heavy. And I'm also out and about. And it depends on the recipe. Some of the recipes will tell you to let it just turn on when you get to the end of the time, just turn the fire off. And some of them will tell you you can reduce the heat quickly, but you need to let the heat reduce until the pressure's down. If you need to do it quickly, you can take a fork and pick that lid, or pick up that little weight thing. And it's going to shoot steam so don't get burned. Now it hasn't whistled again. Doesn't have to, but I'm going to turn my fire up just a little bit because of the wind. That windscreen works really well, but I think it might impact the cooking. Let me show you from the side. And then that's a little thing there. It's got 3 screws on it. That's what I use to level up my stuff. I got a little level on there. And 2 screws on it. 1 screw on there, 1 screw over there, and 1 screw right there. And they're upside down, and I just turn them. And I use that for leveling my pot. Sounds like it's getting ready to whistle again. I like to have it whistle about once a minute, because if it's whistling once, yeah, the wind's impacting it. I like to whistle about once a minute because then I know I'm maintaining pressure. It was going to whistle then, but then a gust of wind came along and cooled it off. So I turned the fire up a little bit. That way I know I'm staying up at pressure. Here it goes again, maybe. See, if you didn't know any better and you were inside your house, you'd think that thing was going to blow up or something. But it don't. It's got that heat valve on there that will melt, and you got to replace that. And you can get the replacement valves on Amazon. You don't want to let me run on my mouth for another 6 minutes. So I'm going to shut this down, and I'll be back whenever it's ready to eat.